santas.net. So I will read each one of these, and then I'll explain first my connection to each of these places, and then I will read what santas.net has to say about Christmas in each of these places. So, the first place that I am going to read about is Christmas in the Netherlands. Now, without giving too much personal information away, I can say that I am half Dutch. Now, I can't speak a word of Dutch, and neither can my father, who is Dutch, or whose family is Dutch, and immigrated to Canada in the Second World War, or very shortly thereafter. I'm not sure on the specifics, but either way, they came to Canada, and they have been here ever since. But they actually carry some of the Dutch Christmas traditions, which I will talk to you about now. St. Nicholas arrives early in Holland with his gifts in November. He is dressed in bishop's robes and journeys in a boat with his helper, who is called Black Peter and who wears Spanish clothes. It is said that the pair live most of the year preparing lists of presents and writing every child's behavior in a very large book. Many people go to Amsterdam docks to greet him. He mounts a snow horse and rides through the streets in a great parade amid many festivities. December 5th is Sinterklaas Eve, or Sinterklaas Eve, and presents are given and received. Farmers in Holland blow long horns at sunset each evening during the Christmas period. The horns are blown over water wells, which makes the sound extremely loud. This is done to announce the coming of Christmas. All Dutch children know that Sinterklaas, or Sinterklaas, lived in Spain, where he spends his time recording the behavior of all the children in his little red book, while Peter stocks up on the presents. Christmas Day is a religious time, and the day is spent with visits to church. In the afternoon, people sit around the tree, sing carols, and tell stories. Oh goodness, this site makes noise. Hang on. There we go. Alright, the next place I'm going to read about is Christmas in France. And I am choosing France because half of my family, the half that isn't Dutch, is French immigrants to Canada. So they were Christmas tree has never been particularly popular in France, and though the use of the Yule log has faded, the French make a traditional Yule log-shaped cake called the bûche de Noël, which means Christmas log. The cake, among other food in great abundance, is served at the grand feast of the season, which is called Le Réveillon. Le Réveillon is a very late supper held after midnight mass on Christmas accurate they are, as I'm Canadian myself. So I will see, I will tell you at the end if this is actually how it goes. Christmas celebrations are quite similar in variety to America. In some provinces, a big winter festival called Sinktuk is celebrated by the Eskimos with dancing and a present-giving party. Okay, I'm pretty sure they don't like to be called Eskimos. I think Inuit, First Nations, I think there's a lot nicer words to use. Anyway, I'll continue. In Labrador, turnips are saved from the summer harvest and are given to children with a lighted candle pushed into a hollowed-out hole. In Nova Scotia, a country settled by Scottish Highlanders, songs and carols brought from Britain 2 centuries ago are sung each Christmas morning. Also in Nova Scotia, during the 12 days of Christmas, small groups of bell snicklers, or masked mummers, appear in neighborhoods, ringing bells, making noise, seeking candy or other treats. The hosts may try to guess who the mummers are, and if they guess right, the mummer removes his or her disguise and stops making rude noises and actions. Children may be quizzed by the mummers on their behavior. If they say they have been good, they are rewarded with candy. In Quebec, they display crèche or nativity scenes in their homes as the Christmas decorations. After attending midnight mass, families may be served tourtière or pork pie. Another favorite food is boulette or small meatballs. A Christmas banquet is called a réveillon. In British Columbia, turkey may be accompanied by either fresh or smoked salmon. In Canada, the traditional Christmas dinner is roast turkey with vegetables and sauces. For dessert, it is rich, fruity Christmas pudding with brandy sauce, mince pies, pastry cases filled with a mixture of chopped dried fruit. Masked mummers are a Christmas tradition from Newfoundland. Okay, well, I can't really speak for the northern Canada. I've never been that far north, nor have I been to Labrador, but the Nova Scotia stuff, I think it used to happen more than it does now, from what I understand. I think that's more like 1800s Christmas traditions. I've never seen a masked mummer appear in a neighborhood around Christmas, but you never know. Maybe it does still happen. In Quebec, that sounds about right, but a lot of the religious significance has been lost in Quebec. It's, I think, the most secular province in Canada, but that being said, those who are still there are largely Catholic, so the réveillon and the tourtière, and it's very similar to the French, obviously. But for the Catholic part of Quebec, yeah, that sounds right. I'm not from the West Coast, so British Columbia, it very well could be right. It makes sense. They have a lot of fish. They're right on the coast. But I can confirm that that is indeed the traditional Christmas dinner. Roast turkey, vegetables and sauces. Lots of potatoes. We are very big on potatoes. And turkey can often be substituted for like a ham or a chicken or usually some kind of bird. But I've seen ham and pork and stuff as well. The dessert